Mark?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm good, dude. How you doing?
Yeah? Bit cold. I feel like my toes are about to break into little bits.
Oh, my connection's breaking up? Is that what you said?
No, my toes are about to break up. It's freezing.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in my car. It's a little
Oh.
loud outside still.
Twinsies, bro. I'm sitting in my car too.
Hell yeah, man.
Today we're talking to the magic Mark Heylmun of Suicide Silence, who have recently announced a virtual world tour. The Suicide Silence Sydney show will be on 15th of July at 2 p.m. Additionally, in February of this year, the band released their new album, Become the Hunter, which, bro, I don't know how to give you a virtual handshake, but that was a sweet album, man.
Well, you just did by calling me magic. That was the virtual handshake right there.
It was so good.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you like the record. It was really fun to put together, and I think it comes off that way. I think people can hear that we had fun making it.
Was it? You know, I don't want to get too much into the self-titled release because I know you've covered that, but when you were trying to do something different, was that a stressful situation or was that fun as well?
I mean, the self-titled record was like extremely fun to put together. Obviously, we knew it was going to be a big roll of the dice, and couldn't have predicted, everything that happened from it. But yeah, I mean, getting to work with Ross Robinson and the way that we approached that record and like just where we were at as a band, I mean, it was a good point in time for us, and I still really, I don't have any regrets with that record, because I look at it also as without doing that record, we wouldn't have landed where we landed and ready to write Become the Hunter, and that the intention was clear, after that record to what we needed to do on Become the Hunter. So everything happens for a reason, and it's all good.
Would you tackle something like that again, you think?
We got to figure out what we're gonna do or what the right thing to do is. I don't know if there is a right thing to do. Just as a band in the future, like writing full lengths or releasing singles all the time. Like we talk about maybe going down that kind of that route again, but like more on the single tip. So it's just like as much as most people bash that record, I mean, there still are like diehard fans and a lot of people that come out and say like, dude, that record got smashed, but like I really like this song and this song and this song, and like they know what they like about it. So the squeaky wheel is the loudest, you know what I mean? Like it became a band, it became something a lot of people smashed, but like, we're in this band, we hear from our fans and we hear from people that, like it. And the other thing that didn't get a lot of coverage is like when we toured on that and went and played European festivals and played some of those songs on it, playing in front of a huge amount of people and playing some of those songs, they went over really, really well. It's kind of like we don't want to, be like, hey guys, like actually it did better than you think. Like for us, it really was commercially, of course, you see all the bad reviews and you see all the people talking shit on it, but it's not exactly fun for people to go online and be like, hey man, all you people saying bad shit, like we like this. So it's there's always perspectives of it, and yeah, like I don't think that we're gonna do it anytime soon, but of course, man, like as a band, we like to venture outside of the safety zones. I mean, that's a really fun thing to do, and that's why we had such a good time making that record.
And I guess that's, now that you're doing a virtual tour, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to see what people are actually responding to in this current time. You've got obviously a live chat, but you can't make up for that connection with the audience. How do you do a virtual mosh pit? How do you get people moving?
Well, I've been doing these not virtual. I've been doing live streams a lot. I started a Patreon, and I do live streams for my Patreon, and it's funny how people adapt to it. Like, they'll throw in the emoji of people running, and like everybody in the chat is like putting emojis of people running, and I'm like, oh my god, like I get it, you guys are like moshing, like that's fucking funny.
Sick.
But we kind of on the virtual tour though, like we planned for that. Like, it's hard to tell what people are or how they would respond to it. So we didn't organize this and make this like it was going to be a live show. We wanted to make it like a combination of a behind the scenes DVD, a music video shoot, and a live performance. So like there's going to be other aspects of it besides the performance that are guaranteed going to be entertaining if you're a fan of Suicide Silence. Even if you're not a fan of Suicide Silence, like we made the fucking most hilarious skits that's like they're just so funny. It's almost comparable, and like I'm not really afraid to say it. Like it's comparable, like if you ever have seen Death Clock, like Death Clock.
I love Death
Clock. These
Clock.
kind of things they play from the show, totally. So like we kind of we did our own kind of thing where we like wrote our own skits and made these like fun things. So it's like you're gonna see a show, but instead of treating it like we're on stage and talking to an audience or trying to like recreate a live show, we just made like Suicide Silence Variety Hour. And like there's so much in it, and there's so many exclusive skits and content that we made that talks directly to the markets that we're playing in. So like when we're playing for Sydney, like there will be skits that are only for Sydney, like so we really just catered to every single show we're going to do. Like, all right, we've been to all these places, we chose all these places because we love these places, and we figured a way to show people, like how much we appreciate them. So they'll be, I'm sure that that people down under are going to laugh at the shit that we have put together for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, it's definitely interesting in these times. You have to learn to adapt. Like I've had maybe 3 living room moshes. Just like putting on some really loud music. And have you had any of those?
Yeah,
they're hella fun.
Dude, 100%. I watched the Gojira live at Red Rocks, and I was like spinning around in my computer chair, like just sitting in the chair, like spinning it around and having a good time with it. That was a sick live stream. I mean, obviously it was a live show, but dude, I totally feel you, man.
And even doing something like a virtual interview like this, I told you I was just having lunch before. I just like smashed down 2 roasted onions. I'm not worried about you smelling my breath. So there's perks in all of it.
Dude, I know. Well, the funny thing about like all the lockdown stuff too is like, when did people start feeling okay with the cold call FaceTime? Like never before would I look down and just be like, oh, someone's FaceTiming me right now. They didn't warn me or anything. It's just like, all right, fuck it. I've gotten FaceTime calls, and I look down and it's like 10 names, and they're all on FaceTime, and then I answer it, and it's like 10 people all drinking a beer, like, yeah, what's up, dude? It's like, when would that have ever happened?
I know. It's it's obviously not ideal, and there are some things that you just can't replace. I'm not a touring musician, so I'd love to hear what your favorite part of touring that you can't replace is, but like you got to learn to adapt, I guess.
Yeah. Geez, my favorite part of touring is, I mean, this is a very simple answer, but just traveling. Traveling is fun for me. Like, I like to go different places, and even it's manifested itself in my regular like vacation life. Like, I don't like going to one place for like a week or two. Like, I like to go to a general area and like go to a place for like 2 nights or 3 nights, and then go to another place for 2 or 3 nights. Like touring has transformed the way that I travel.
Yeah, because it's a full-time job. You're experiencing these things in a professional sense as well, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, pretty much I've done Australia. I haven't been able to go and spend time just in Australia for myself. I'm always on tour, but usually Australia, there's a good amount of days off, and especially like with Soundwave, there's a lot of days off. But yeah, I mean, I've traveled, gotten to play shows a bunch of places, met people, and then it's like, oh, I know people here now, so if I want to come back here, like, I've got the local hookups, and it's like that's my favorite thing people.
Well, I can't offer you much, but if you are in Sydney sometime next year, you know, you've got my number. Be pretty sick to get a FaceTime from you, just like, oh, hey man, I'm at Sydney, what's going on?
Yeah, I'd love that shit.
That'd be sick. Going back to those skits, that's a very interesting concept. Do you have any special skills on display that people might not know about you?
I have a green thumb. I grew weed for a little while, and I learned how to grow like really, really good weed. And then in that, I learned that I could grow anything. And like I've grown a ton of, you know, berries, potatoes, beans. I would really like to in the future just grow all my own food. I took a permaculture class, which I believe Bill Molson, an Australian guy, and he started permaculture, which permaculture is just like, it's utilizing the least amount of actual energy, like actual in physics, utilizing the least amount of energy for the biggest yields. And that could mean anything. And I took a class in permaculture, and I would really like to have my own little like homestead, like, you know, pretty much solar and wind powered, and like, you know, collect rainwater and shit like that. Like I think Australia had like a reality TV show of people that had to like live on a homestead or something like that. I'm kind of nerdy with that shit, and it's not a lot of people know about it.
That's cool. I can't wait to watch a live stream of you making a salad out of weed. Chopping it up with some potatoes and stuff. Hell yeah.
I'm juicing my nuggets, bro. Getting fucking lit on my nuggets.
That'd be good.
No, I don't grow weed anymore. Actually, I don't have fucking time to do it lately. Like the band is such a full-time job, and like having a farm like is another full-time job. So I don't necessarily do it anymore. And I was afraid to talk about it because it was not really legal yet, but now that it's so legal in California, I'm not really afraid to say I used to grow a shit ton of weed. I mean, it's just a plant, man. I mean,
exactly.
There's so many, and especially with CBD and stuff. Like, I'll be the first to say too. Like, I used to be a much bigger cannabis user, but I figured out CBD is actually what I really want. Like, getting high is cool and all, but like CBD, like, really chills my like social anxiety out, and it helps me sleep, and like especially if you're like working out or something, like it chills your soreness after a workout, like so good.
I have a question about not necessarily the skits, but I have a proposition for you, I suppose. Next time you do a virtual world tour, what if you were to animate it? Live animation, mocap.
It's a good idea.
Do you know, like, what kind of creature or, like, character you'd want to be animated as?
I mean, I'd probably have to be some sort of made-up creature, like a combination of a bear and a lion and a shark or something like that.
Like something from Guar?
That's what I can imagine myself as. Like something from Guar, yeah, 100%. The animation, man, that's something to think about. I wonder how we could actually, I'm literally thinking how we could actually do it. Live animation. Have you ever seen A Scanner Darkly or Waking Life?
No, I haven't.
That's some trippy live animation. I think Keanu Reeves is in Scanner Darkly. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm down with all that stuff. We gotta first put this first one on and see if it actually fucking works.
No, I reckon it would be good. Should be great. I wanna see it. I haven't got my ticket yet, but
it's gonna be fucking so sick. Like we're about to right now. Like after I'm done with this, I'm gonna go inside. We have all the lights set up. We have everything fucking rigged up, and we're actually gonna do our first run through, as if we were doing a live stream and be able to watch everything. So, I mean, it's if anybody's listening and doesn't fully know, like this, it is a full on integrated live stream. You watch, you're gonna see all these so many funny things that we've made. The live performance there's going to be an opportunity so that you will get a poll and see we'll ask you what song do you want to hear and give you a choice. Like, do you want this song or this song? And you get to pick what song we're going to play.
Wow.
So, like, we're going to be playing songs that the fans actually want or the viewers actually want to hear. And then, yeah, that's the first, like, hour of it is basically performance, and the last half hour is a Q&A where we're going to, the whole time you can submit questions. The moderator in the chat will collect all the questions, and we'll answer every single one of the questions, shout the names out. We may or may not, I'm just going to say it, I'm not sure if it's going to work yet. Like, we can have the moderator connect with people, and if they want to phone in and be a part of the video, we can video them in, and we could do it just from, like, right outside of the chat, because the stream will be like 30-second delay, but we can, like, Skype someone in, put that on the screen, and actually be hanging out with someone on the live stream together. So, like, there's so many things that we can do with this, and it really, it comes from our dude James Lynch. He's our tour manager, our sound guy, and him and I were talking about this, and he knows, he's the master of the stream. He was running a stream for someone that streamed out to like 10,000 people. It was a live stream podcast, and he has the skill set on this. And the camera people that are putting this together, that are working the cameras, are the same people that videoed the Mitch Memorial DVD. So this is all our in-house crew of people, and we're all having a blast putting it together. And we're in this sick room and rehearsal studio. And on top of all this, we're writing riffs, and we're together every day, living in the same house. And it's just like, and on top of it, we've all gotten tested for COVID. We're all negative, and we're all getting tested once a week. So we're being super safe with this. So, like, all this is just, we're just stoked on it, dude. Like, this is going to be one of the coolest things I think we've ever done in our careers.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you. That's sick. I suppose I should, wrap things up. Jump to my last question, since you should, go test things out, so I'm not responsible for everything failing. That'd be a lot of pressure.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
So there's this band in Sydney, a metalcore band called Teeth, and I did an interview with them on my radio show, and they were listing you guys as like a major inspiration that got them into music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, who was the best band or performer who's ever told you that they were inspired by you, either directly or indirectly?
I think one of the biggest full circle individuals that has said that to us, that made a big impact on me, was Chad Gray from Mudvayne when we first toured with them in 2009. And I won't lie and say that, like, oh, Mudvayne was my favorite band and all this stuff, but of course I listened to Mudvayne when I was young, and I saw them at my first concert I ever went to, which was Ozfest 2001, and Chad and the Mudvayne guys handpicked us to open for them and Black Label Society and Static X in 2009, and Chad, like, for day one was just like, I love what you guys are doing, it's super fucking sick, and that was major, and that was super big. And it really doesn't stop there. I mean, even Clown from Slipknot, he did the same thing when we did the Slipknot tour in 2008. So, I mean, it's been I'm extremely lucky and grateful that, that has happened to me on a handful of occasions. And I'll never forget all that stuff. And it's super cool. And anybody that cites us as an influence, like, that's amazing. I think the communal aspect of heavy metal, and, like, all of this being this big, like, heavy metal tribe all over the world, like, we're all connected to, like, the love of just brutal, heavy, and also it's weird shit. I mean, it's not exactly, like, mainstream shit, so, like, all of us just being weirdos, and we're all helping each other and inspiring people, like, I hope it never fucking ends. I mean, it will never end. It'll live forever. Thanks to fucking Black Sabbath. And Lemmy.
No, dude, it all traces back to Paul McCartney. But I think there's some magic. There's some magic in what you're saying, because it's our community, you know, we have, you know, I like all kinds of music, and I talk to all kinds of musicians, but metalheads, we've got the biggest family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. If I see someone with long hair and a fucking death metal shirt on, like I say, what's up?
Yeah.
If you're the only metalhead at a party, just fucking own it and just like be the only metalhead and like talk about metal to people. Like just be that guy.
You've got to convince the mainstream, eh?
Yeah, totally.
Sick. Well, thank you for joining me, Mr. Magic Mark Heylmun.
Okay. Thanks for having me. Yeah. Well, I was gonna just say thanks for having me. Hopefully everybody that listens to this gets a ticket to the virtual tour, ssvirtualtour.com. And yeah, we're stoked.
Hopefully that's better than the last time the SS tried to tour the world.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I know. Hopefully.
I was looking at the URL and I'm like, oh, hope that stands for Suicide Silence.
Oh, shit.
Alright, till then, Mr. Heylmun, don't commit suicide and don't remain silent. Thank you again.